I'm going to do what I got to do because this is going to happen. We live now, you guys.
Exactly. And I like
Live.
this better since I don't have a cute background this time. Like I'm literally in my hotel room and I couldn't check. So I like this circle here that we got that we're
Okay,
in.
well, everybody who's on my live, y'all gonna see her while I do her beautiful introduction, okay? Because usually I have them backstage, but we under attack right now, so we going outside of the realms of the rules, and I don't care because that's just what it's gonna be.
That's
So
right.
thank you guys so much for your patience. Thank you for your patience for this special episode for my special sis. Just a trigger warning before this conversation that you're about to hear may contain real and unfiltered dialogue about trauma, including experiences of homelessness, abuse, emotional and psychological pain, trafficking, and a long road of healing. We do not sanitize survival here. We speak it as it is, raw, honest, and sometimes heavy. If you are currently in a fragile emotional space, please listen with care. Step away if you need to, turn it off if you need to, come back if you want to or when you're ready, because your mental and emotional safety matters more than any podcast. This is a safe space for truth, but it's also a space for tenderness. You are not alone in your journey. You are not weak. You are needing to take a pause or to walk away because you need to take what serves your healing and leave what does not. So again, I want to welcome you guys to another raw and unapologetic episode, a special episode of Insights of a Survivor. I am your host, PJ, a truth teller and a voice behind Soulful Resilience Journey. If you're new here, let me be clear. This is not just a podcast. This is a battlefield, as you guys seen, the battlefield because we are under attack. It is a sanctuary, a mirror for every soul who has ever been silenced, dismissed, or shattered by trauma and still chooses to speak. I created this platform because I lived it. I survived it. And I know what it means to be broken down and be abused, be betrayed, and have systematic injustice affect my life and the life of those that I love. I still show up with my story and in my hands like it's a weapon. And like at the same time, I want to make sure that you guys understand that you are not alone. This platform was born from not from a polished perfection of blood, but from grief, the kind that strengthens us. This series of Insights of a Survivor isn't just about pity or performance. It's about power. It's about honoring the voices of survivors who don't just talk healing, they live it. Who don't just wait for permission to exist, they take the space with purpose. And every guest on this show, including this beautiful woman today, holds that same fire. But this guest today, this one right here, she is fire, y'all. She is soul. She is survival, and she is patience, you guys. As you see, she was so graciously, patiently. And I heard her telling you guys this. Y'all just wait a minute. Y'all just please just wait, because Vitelle is someone that I don't just admire from afar. This woman I have met personally. We've talked, we've shared, we've seen each other in our truths. She's not a stranger to this space because she was here before. She blessed me once with her presence on my show when I was still just a baby in it, you guys. And she helped me. She helped me find that strength inside of myself. And her words didn't just land, it lingered in my spirit. They healed. They had a part of my healing journey, and it woke me up the way she wakes up a lot of individuals. And now she returns, not just as a guest, but as family, as a community, as a voice. And for those who may not know her that well, Miss Vitelle is an award-winning actress, filmmaker, beautiful model, director, author, and founder of Us Three Productions. And she is an unapologetic advocate. Beyond the titles, this is a woman who has survived homelessness, displacement, and the brutal erasure of identity that comes when the world stops seeing you as a human. She didn't just survive, she alchemized it. She took those lit scars and she turned them into stage plays like faces, like the face of homeless, and the one that she's currently doing right now, 9 Lives, which, oh my God, I have to see this play. Okay. And she also wrote a beautiful book, I Am, a Poetic Ensemble, all which shakes the silence, challenges the stigma, and reclaims power for people in society who tries to forget us. She's not going to let us forget, you guys. And she does so much more. I'll be sitting here this entire hour just talking about all of the accolades that she has, done in this industry. She has been featured in mainstream films like I Can Do Bad All By Myself with Tyler Perry. She's in independent stages, and across all of the communities, she is a mouthpiece for the marginalized. But Vitelle does not create to impress, she creates to heal. If you guys ever meet this person, all this stuff that I said to you can sound very intimidating. I was at first, but to meet this person, to meet this woman. She is free. She's free to say exactly the things that no one else is brave enough to say out loud. And that is exactly why she's here. So today we're going to go beyond this script. We're going to dive into what shifted since we last saw her, and thank her so much for coming back onto my show and blessing me. Miss Lady V, Miss Vitelle says, hi, how are you?
Listen, I'm over here like, hold on, we ain't even started the interview yet, and I'm over here about to cry, girl. You ain't even had me in here crying like this. Stop it.
We go cry together.
That was literally the best introduction I've ever had. I can honestly say that. And also, yeah, I really feel that. I appreciate that. And then the fact that, the disclaimer, that was a wonderful disclaimer for you to, I feel like you covered all bases for everyone watching. And that was really heartfelt for, because that's who it's about. It's about the ones watching. We don't know who they are. We may not ever meet them. But we understand that when we're in this spiritual warfare, that those attacks we was having with that technical difficulties, we're like, okay, this is for somebody. And I hope y'all are obedient to get on and to listen, to share with somebody else, because you never know if it's somebody that that we don't know that you're going to share it with. So that's what it's all about. I love it.
I love it too. And I just want to first thank you so much for, first off, you guys don't understand, this woman offered me an opportunity. And at the time I wasn't mentally and spiritually ready to do that, but she showed me compassion and she showed me warmth, and she did not ask me for 1 cent, you guys. This woman has already built her platform, but she's opening the doors for us at the bottom. So she has impressed me so much, and she showed me the grace and what beauty looks like in this environment. So it's a gift to have you back in this space, Vitelle. You've lived, grown, and created so much. So since we last spoke, how has life been unfolding? You have been super busy with this 9 Lives World Tour. Come on, let's go a little bit into that.
Man, the 9 Lives World Tour has been just a whirlwind of, I don't even know how to begin to describe it. It doesn't seem like human words even begin to express what this has been, what this journey's been. But, we're here in Bowling Green, Kentucky right now on the last show, the grand finale. And even that in itself is so significant. Like, how do you, like, every time we tell people in the city that we're bringing the grand finale to them and invite them out, then they're like, to here? Like, why would you do that? Because it's the smallest of the cities that we've been. It's just a small town. A lot of people haven't even heard of Bowling Green, Kentucky. And it's like, you know what? I trust the process. When God told me 9 cities, 9 dates, these are the shows you're going to do. And I literally had no more information than that. I had to walk by faith. This has been the biggest faith walk of my life. Just to move forward and not just trusting that it's going to happen, but like not even seeing what I'm trusting in. Like I can't even see it. It's like an invisible staircase that I'm having to walk up, and the stairs aren't even there before I plant my foot. I have to plant my foot. So that's been the journey and just complete insanity. Like I think I'm crazy, so I can imagine what other people are thinking at this point, but it's a good kind of crazy, because it's all paying off and it's blessing so many people. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. The testimonies that I hear after the fact is just mind blowing. Like I can't even make this stuff up. So it's amazing.
So how has this experience shifted you mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, knowing that you're able to reach so many lives and touch so many souls and probably call so many people into this movement?
Well, it's increased my faith a lot, because I had to, start walking by faith. And then as I'm seeing how it's all falling into place, how God works it out every single time, it's just like this whole show is like life. It can be compared to life in general so much, because, that's what we do. We trust God, but then when he comes through, then it's like, okay, I trust you even more. And then he keeps coming through. So eventually you get to the point where you're like, you know what, you can't get me to not trust God. Like, I don't care what happens, even if it seems bad in that moment, because he's done brought me through so many times. So that's how this show has been, is like, it's stretching my faith every time, because like every single show, there's some kind of attack. right? So, and I recognize that it's looking with my spiritual eyes, like, okay, I know what this is. I'm gonna fight through this. We're gonna make this work. And then I'll plan ahead because I'm playing chess with the enemy, not checkers, right? So we got to stay a few steps ahead of the enemy, right? So because he's always planning and plotting, so we got to get ahead of him, right? So I'll have technical rehearsals and all of this different stuff to whatever happened in the last show. I'm like, okay, we're going to work to prevent this from happening in the next show and anything, just to stay a few steps ahead. So these last couple of shows, I've planned so much, y'all. You can't even, I have over planned. I have anything that could happen. Like, let me put this here just in case. Like the other day I said something when I was storing my ladies in somebody else's garage. I was like, let me put these over here because you never know. A stray cat could come in here and decide to scratch everything up, and she ain't finna scratch up my ladies. Like, I be thinking of the most extreme things that could possibly happen because I don't play with the devil. Like, and this is the type of stuff that be happening. And so I just plan it out so much, but then the show will come and I'm thinking, can't nothing go wrong this time because we done playing. And then something crazy, and I'll be looking like,
for real. There's
okay.
one thing.
I can't even get mad no more. Like my normal human reaction to what's happening right now, I can't even get mad no more. I take that anger and I know who my enemy is. It's not, if it was because of a person that it happened or whatever it was, it's not them, that it's not their fault because I know who my enemy is, right? So I'll push through it and I'll just respond and love and just working through it, just like you were doing behind the scenes a moment ago, just like working through it. Like I know what this is, and and it's like you can't even get mad. It's almost excitement at this point. It's like, oh, he want to fight. Okay, I'm excited now. Let's go put my boxing on and just go. Like it's exciting. It's a completely different reaction, and that's where that growth comes in. Like back to your question, like that growth in me, spiritual growth, just my faith walk. I've had encounters and experiences that cannot be explained. And I would, as much as I would love to explain them in an interview, it's just you had to been there. And that has taken my faith up several notches. Like, whoa, like just recognizing that you're walking in the power of God. It's like when you get there, like nothing can stop you. Like nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up, like literally spiritually all the way up. Because so that's where I'm at right now. And I'm excited about that part. My team as well has seen, this journey and been a part of this. And they're even more dedicated and devoted than they ever were before because they're seeing what God is doing. Like, it's not me. I cannot take credit for this. This is nothing but God. And so that's what is waking people up, as you said. I love that you said that. Like, we all waking up. Me too.
Oh man. And I love that energy. So where is Nine Lives going after tonight? Well, when is your last? Is it today that your last?
So it's the 28th. It's this coming Saturday. Okay. Yeah. And this is the grand finale. So
what's going to happen in 9 days after that?
So I can't really say because right now I'm saying this is the very last show. I don't really plan on doing this show again. But I will say I don't plan on doing it the way that it is now. Like there's going to definitely be a revamping, an upgrade, a budget. Like what we've been doing so far is literally out of pocket, like small, the vendors and everything help with, small donations here and there. But as far as getting a big budget, that was the idea behind this show, was to show people what we can do with little to nothing. And if we can do this, imagine when you start to fund us. Imagine when those angel investors start to really come through with them dollars. Okay. Like that's what we're trying to show them. Like we're not letting that stop us. And then also to show the public, like we're not, God called me to do something. I'm not waiting until I have the budget for it. I'm not waiting until I have this and this and that. Like that's what we tend to do is wait until we feel like we're capable of it or we feel like we're qualified to do it instead of just doing it and then seeing what comes next with that. So that's where we're at now with it. So I don't know if there will be another opportunity to see it. Definitely not as it is now in the starting phase of it. So I just recommend everybody come out to Bowling Green.
You better come on now, because this may be y'all last chance to see this performance. Now, do I see Ms. Vitelle stopping y'all? No, this is just the beginning. Because I don't You are a powerhouse. I kind of did a little stalking on you, ma'am. I did a little stalking on you. I'm like, she does a lot. Feed the homeless, active. I mean, you are a powerhouse. So where do you see yourself going after Nine Lives? Because again, even if this is your last show, I don't see you stopping. Us Three Productions is
Oh, no, not
going.
at all.
So
Yeah,
where do you
absolutely.
after this? Like, because I can't. I'm not gonna let you be quiet, sis. Even if you want to, I will fly to Atlanta and knock on your door.
Right. Well, I got too many accountability partners now. I can't even try to be quiet. No, it's definitely not the beginning. We're already kind of starting to work ahead to lining up what's next. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do too much now. Let me focus on what I'm doing right here because it's a lot. But and I don't want to overwhelm myself. But yeah, we do have my next two books will be coming out this year before the end of the year. So imagine all this that we've done in just 6 months. And so we've got the rest
Yeah.
of the year. Feels like I got all the time in the world. I'm gonna do so much by December. So so yeah, we're gonna have the next two books are gonna be dropping by December, as well as my next show, The Face of Homeless, which is actually my first show. It's been done before. It was just
Mhm.
pre-pandemic, so my fan base has like more than quadrupled since then. And so to bring it back to people who are somewhat new to me, to bring an oldie but goodie back, people love that show, The Face of Homeless. And it's a 16 character cast. So it's not just a one woman show, guys. The one woman show came in because of the pandemic and because I couldn't have my cast there. So I'll be bringing back a lot of people that you guys remember from that, and it'll be new to some people. So I'm excited to bring that show back. I've done that show probably about 20 times as well before the pandemic happened. I had to shut it down for a minute. So yeah, Face of Homeless is coming back to y'all.
So do we see another world tour on the line? You know, I mean, on the brinks. Are we looking at another world tour?
Yes, we've gotten so much response from the cities that we brought this show to. So again, this show was kind of practice run. It was kind of, for the funding as well as for seeing what cities respond best to what we're doing and who join onto the mission. So we've gotten so much support. Like shout out to all my people out in Houston, Texas. We went to Orlando. That was the first stop on the tour, and I'm like, I've never been to Orlando before. I've never promoted here. I don't have a following here. So I don't know how, in my mind, again, a God calling, it looks crazy to us. Okay. So it was like, don't nobody know me in Orlando. Like I take vacation there, but I purposely don't be promoted there because I don't want to be recognized when I'm on vacation.
Mhm.
So like I don't have a following in Orlando. That's what I thought. Right. Then I come to Orlando with the show and I got people like, we've been waiting for years for you to bring this show to us. And I'm like, what? Like, where y'all been at? Like, they've been all on my Facebook and everything. I didn't even know. So shout out to everybody in Orlando. We got Raleigh. Boston was amazing. Definitely. I feel like Kentucky's about to show out. I can't say much yet, but until we get there and see how y'all show up. But the response so far from the community has been amazing. The news stations, even they're running our commercials and they're running. I did an interview the other day, so shout out to WNKY 40 News, Me TV. Did an interview with them, and they're running that all week long. So I feel like the community here, because it is a small town, is like close knit, tight community,
Yeah.
and they're spreading the word for us. We're not having to work as hard,
Beautiful.
So,
That is beautiful.
yeah, so it's definitely coming. So we're lining up now based on how the response was for Nine Lives, who we're gonna bring the Face of Homeless to. So that one will go on tour in 2026.
Nice. So in projects like Nine Lives, and now you said you're going to bring back the face of homeless. Um,
Mhm.
this is where you pour your real trauma into your work. Like, how do you protect your spirit while you're diving into such deep, dark places? Because like these aren't easy. Doing what I'm doing, I'm learning what it's like.
Yeah.
That you've been doing this for years. I've been doing this for what, a year. To dive back into those moments, I have to
Mhm.
reset and ground to get myself back into the spiritual
Yeah.
warfare. I mean, that can bring a lot of stuff out of you. So how do you channel that? When I know that it's a lot of prayer, and I know that a lot
Mhm.
of prayer helps.
Yeah.
And what other ways do you help yourself? Like self-care. I know you personally, sis, and you don't sit down. You don't sit down.
Right. Self-care is everything. No, you're absolutely right. I think the biggest thing I always say is just being self-aware. Like yourself. You so planning ahead for yourself. Like me, I know I'll get so busy I won't eat. And if you were watching behind the scenes before the show started, I literally just ordered groceries because I had to plan ahead. Like literally, I'm on the treadmill working out this morning, ordering my groceries so that they'll be here by the time I finish. Because otherwise, I won't. If it's not there in front of me, I won't remember to eat. So like just knowing yourself and planning ahead for the things that you know work for you. And so self-care is so important, and knowing when to pull back, recognizing when you're starting to get, snappy. I'll get snappy. I'll get like more agitated than usual. Like just being so aware of yourself that like, okay, this is happening. I see why. Like it's perfectly normal, but it's time for me to pull back. Because what's not normal, honestly, in this day and age, is being self-aware. Like so many people, that's their biggest problem, is they're not aware of self. And so that's how you end up offending people, or whatever else can come of that. There's so many things that can come of that, but just being aware of yourself, knowing when it's time to pull back, knowing when it's time to get alone. I was staying with my sister this whole past week. Prior to this, I had to go get a room. It was time. Like I know myself. Like I'm starting to get agitated. We got the kids running around, and then also not just that, but like I wanted to spend time with the kids, like, my nieces and nephews and everything. And I haven't seen them in so long since this tour started. So it's like, oh, I want to take them to the movies and I want to do all this stuff. And I'm like, no, I got to focus on this show, so just knowing that I'm going to be distracted and I'm going to get overwhelmed, because I'm going to try to cook every single night for everybody. And I'm going to try to, take the kids out on outings and take them to work with me to be out promoting and stuff as much as I possibly can. I'm going to burn myself out. So that is the biggest thing. That just, I know I said a lot, but that covers all of that, is just being aware of what you need. And then as far as the show itself goes, when I first started it, people would say like, well, you don't want to keep doing this because you're going to re-traumatize yourself. And I was having to tap into those memories in order to write it. I tapped into those, the real life part, in order to create the show. So that's where most of my healing came in, was creating it. But then actually doing the show and seeing how it's affecting other people, a transition started to happen slowly but surely, where I wasn't feeling like I was reliving my own traumas anymore. I feel like these people out here are going through this right now and they need me to show up and do this. So I'm so focused on them, that audience, and what they need, that I don't even think about like the fact that this is my story too, like I'm kind of disconnected from it at this point, because it's been such a long process. So it does take time. And I would say, especially like the more severe your trauma is, or the longer you lived it, the longer it's going to take to heal from it. So just give yourself grace and recognize what helps you: working out, eating right, getting some sleep, all of these basic things that a lot of times we neglect because we know we're on a mission and we ain't got time for that. Right. So, but we have to at some point fit those things in for our own health, so we can stay alive long enough to complete the assignment.
Well, I thank you for that, because that actually was a question personally for me, because I do.
Right. I knew it.
Yeah, well, because I struggle. Like you do know my story, so hearing me having to dig through some of the stuff, it can get a little. So and I have learned about self-awareness. So, but I do thank you that because you are one of the few people that I know personally that is all over the place, like on it. But then you still smile. You guys, like I said, y'all don't know. I've seen her when she was exhausted, but still like, y'all, I'm tired. I ain't slept for 3 days, but I'm here, y'all, loving it.
I come on my live, like, look, bear with me.
I've seen this woman's feelings hurt because somebody has hurt her feelings, and she can cry, but like, y'all know what, but the Lord is still good. And she just brings your spirit up when she crying. Like, I've always wanted to ask you how you do that. So thank you.
Nothing but God.
Because I've seen you be like, y'all, I'm making it, but you make it. And then by the end of the meeting, you up. And I'm up like, okay, how's she doing this, you guys? So that's something I don't understand. I've seen behind the scenes. So the next question is, where do you feel your art is making the most impact right now on the world, or even within yourself, or like with people like me who are, I know that's a lot of pressure, but that are looking to you as the matriarch of our journey, because you are like the mother of my journey, one of the mothers of my journey, because you've seen things in me. I know, and I'm trying not to cry, but I'm about to cry. They coming. You saw, like, the minute, you guys don't understand. The minute I talked to Vitelle for 5 minutes, she was like, I see something in you. The Lord told me to, and it's just like, I thought I was a nobody when I met this woman. I felt like I was nothing. I was just now starting off. I was ashamed to do video, audio. I think I was doing audio only at that time. And she don't know. She didn't know what she did for me. You don't know what you did for me, Miss Lady, when you came to me and said, I see you, ma'am. I see you. Okay, nope.
Okay. Woo, stop it. Okay, this is real.
So you don't know what you did for me when you said, someone who I look at, you have seen things that that no one else has seen, and you have been at the very bottom, but then you start climbing your way out to the top. So you don't know what you did for me, to say I've been down here, but now I'm a model, I'm an actress, I'm an award winning. I'm like, I can do that too, because not because of Oprah, not because of Monique or these people who you looked at me as a person, and you saw me as a person, and you took a chance on me, and you kept in touch with me, even though I know you're busy. You kept in touch with me with the best you could. You comment on my stuff. Like, when I see her comment on my stuff, you guys, I'm like, she's still.
I try to go through it. I try to go through every once in a while.
That is. Oh, you still see me. You still see me. Oh my gosh, stop making me cry, sis. You still see.
That's you. That's you. Let's be clear. That's you. That's doing that. But no, that really means the world. Like, so here's what I was getting as you were, and I'm just gonna say this what I just got just let me know exactly why this video was acting up in the first place, because this is for somebody. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I was visualizing as she's saying this, because I was in that same position where I didn't feel qualified. I didn't feel enough. I didn't, we deal with that imposter syndrome. You would be surprised. Even Beyonce deals with imposter syndrome. You cannot imagine, like, what? She's Beyonce. How could she possibly? But she's talked about it before. So it's so important that we come out and talk about these things. Like, we are the Moseses, the Noahs, the Ruths. Like, there are so many people that I can go through and start listing in the Bible. We are that for our generation. They were that for the Bible generation. We live in a generation now. We got AI. How many times do you think people pick up the Bible and read compared to generations ago? We are the Bible for the people, living out loud, living through the arts and entertainment. This is what people watch Netflix more than they read the word. So we have to bring the word to the people in the best way that they understand it. And that's what Us3 Productions is doing. And it is so powerful, and it's so important that we recognize who we are, and that we remember. This is what came to mind when you was talking. Moses doubted himself. Jonah doubted himself. There is not a single person that you can pull up in the word from history that was called to do something great that didn't at some point say, oh no, God, I can't do that. Like, no, I don't even know how to talk correctly. I don't even know how to I don't know how to do these things. Like, they felt the same thing that we are feeling now in our generation. The difference is we have so many resources and tools. Imagine being back in them days when we had to walk everywhere. How I'm gonna do a world tour? I got to walk all over the place. Like, this a lot. I got to ride a camel. Like, so think about the benefits and the perks that we have now, the tools that we have at our disposal that give us even more of an advantage than those who felt unqualified before. So yes, we are human. We're going to feel unqualified for a moment, but recognize that, hey, if Moses could lead these people, and these people could lead these thousands of people without social media, now they was not viral, just think about what you can do for generations, millions and billions of people, what you are capable of by sharing your story. Like, and then not feeling like, this is another thing I just got, who is this for? Lord have mercy. It might just be for you, honey. And if it is, that's perfectly fine. It's me and you right now. Like,
me and you.
Not feeling like, at one point I remember feeling like, a lot of people got the same story. A lot of women done been through sexual abuse and trauma and domestic violence. And it's a lot. And then I'm looking on, you start comparing yourself on social media to what other people are doing and how they're doing it. And you're thinking like, okay, even if I do show up, it's 5 million other people that's showing up. So I'm not going to stand out. My story isn't going to resonate with one particular person when they got all these other Oprahs and Beyoncé's and all the things like you were saying to look up to. Like, how am I going to stand out and be different compared to all these other people that are doing it now? And so we make that mistake, but we have to also understand that our story is completely, there is not another Vitelle in existence. There is not another you in existence. You do not exist. You are one of a kind in a quadrillion. There is not even a number to count all the people who have ever existed. But to recognize that you showing up in your authentic self and your story, you don't know who that's going to resonate, who's going to be just click with you and be like, oh, that is so me, and just see themselves in you that don't see themselves in Oprah or whoever else could possibly, So just knowing that no matter how big or small your platform is, that you are changing someone's life and possibly even saving someone's life. I don't want to get to preaching, but it's just, I'm in the spirit right now. I got to keep saying what is coming to my mind right now. Like, at one point in time, I remember being extremely suicidal. We gave a trigger warning, right, y'all? Trigger warning reminder if you're just tuning in.
That's okay.
I was extremely suicidal at one point, and I remember going to an event. My friend dragged me to this event. Shout out to Shasha Martin, dragged me to this event. I was like, I don't even feel like going. I don't want to be around people. I don't like people, like all this stuff. I just was at the end of my rope, at the bottom, right? And I went to this event and I literally prayed to God privately. So don't nobody know, and can't nobody say, if something said, I know it was God, because only me and him have had this conversation, not even out loud, right? So even the phone can't pick it up. So, they be listening. But I went to God and I was like, listen, if you don't do something drastic at this event right here, when I leave this event, this is what I'm going to do. And I won't go into detail, but I had it all planned out, y'all. It was the end of me. I was done here on this earth. And I went to this event. And when I tell you God showed up so amazingly, and he used people. He used the people at this event. And it was because of the woman who did the event, which obviously she was under attack. We got to hear her story later. She was severely under attack because the enemy knew what was going to be prevented if she showed up and followed through and did what she was supposed to do. So she did this retreat, and she didn't even understand, because she hadn't met me yet, what exactly she was having a hand in helping to create right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know how you showing up is just elevating the next person. You are making the next Dr. Martin Luther King's and the next Rosa Parks's. And then, like, we are all, our ancestors paved the way for us to from all the way back to the very beginning, from the first people all the way to now. And it's really time for us to step up and recognize that we are the now, and stop just saying, get somebody else to do it. Like, like we do. And I just, that is, girl, got me started.
Keep going. Don't stop. This is your stage right now. So don't stop. I love it.
Man.
Because someone needs to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. And God is using every single one of us if we allow him to do it, whatever scale we are on, whatever level we feel like you mentioned earlier, like you had started at the bottom. We all start at the bottom. Everybody, Jesus started at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like we all, but to create that impact is the most important thing. It ain't about the numbers on Facebook. It ain't about how many people's tuning in. It could be that one person that you inspired, and now that person goes on to inspire millions and billions, and you can say, I had a hand in that right there. So, shout out to everybody. I may not even remember all their names, but I'll never forget those moments. And, that helped me to get to that next level. At that retreat, that really changed my life. It was people saying things that I had dreamed about. Like, I would have dreams at night and wake up in the morning, and we gather in a prayer circle, and people are literally telling me what I dreamed. Mm-hmm. What? Like, that's the type of unexplainable stuff that, these miracles that we feel like nowadays only happen in the Bible. Oh no, they happening now, honey. You just got to believe. And we got to get more people to believe. We have to get the multitudes to believe. Only reason people ain't believing right now, because they got AI, they got, every movie magic and everything. People are making movies right now. They trying to tell y'all something, and y'all ain't even listening because you think it's just entertainment. Like, some of these scary movies, okay, yes, demons are real.
Right.
Hello, somebody.
Yes.
Like, don't get me
Yes.
started. This stuff, y'all watching this thinking it's just entertainment, and it's really desensitizing people to where they can't even tap into their spiritual self anymore. You got all these different religions that's so conflicted and coming up against each other, they can't even understand that it ain't about no religion. It's about the fact that we are spirits, we are spiritual people,
Mhm.
all from the same place, every single one of us. We just
Right.
got planted in different bodies on this earth in
Mhm.
different locations. Okay. So none of that
Okay.
really matters. It's
Mm.
like we are spiritual beings. And so to tap into that spirit man and stop worrying about what religion, what race and background and all this different stuff and all the technicalities do not matter. Walking in your spirit is what matters. And that is how you will reach the next person. That is how you raise up a generation of people who are unashamed and unafraid to talk about it like it really is, and perform miracles out here in these streets. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna rest my mic on that one because Lord, you know,
Oh my Lord.
stop,
Keep
girl.
going. Don't stop.
Amen.
Because I mean, you taking us to church right now. Somebody needs to hear this message. I thank you. I mean, we off script now. I'm not even asking the questions I wrote up. Now we just talking at this point because now I just want to know, like all of this stuff. You are unapologetically vocal about your beliefs, about your past, about everything. Like, how do you get to this point where you're no longer afraid of anything? Like you don't care, and it's not that you don't care about other people, but you don't care, and I don't know if that makes sense, but
Right. No, it does absolutely.
and how do you get
Yeah.
to that point? That's kind of what holds a lot of us back, like that power in you. I
Exactly.
told y'all, if anybody who saw the post, I told y'all this woman was powerful. If y'all missing out your on replay, because I mean, how do you get there? Just listen to the knowledge this woman has to teach you, because I'm learning even today right now. So I'm asking for myself, how do you get out of that fear? I still have fear in me.
Yeah. And fear is, like you said, that's the biggest thing that the enemy uses to try to stop us, is that fear. And it does not happen overnight. And I can't say that I'm completely fearless. Like it's interesting when I hear people call me fearless, I'll be like, am I really? I still kind of quite, because we have that imposter syndrome, that imposter don't really know who I really am. Like, but that fear just, it doesn't, I don't think it ever just completely goes away. You're still going to have a little bit of, before you jump out of plane, you're still going to have them tinglies. You're not just going to be like, woo, I don't care. So, but you want to get to the point where you do it anyway. That's the trick. Like, that is showing up and doing it anyway is what diminishes that fear. It gets it smaller and smaller to the point that it don't really matter. You might feel it because you're a human being, and that would be a little abnormal. I think they call it like schizophrenic or something. Like, I mean, it's a name for that. That's not normal. They got doctors named that. You're not supposed to not feel nothing, honey. You're supposed to and so what you do with that is you take that fear and you say, okay, I'm feeling a lot of it right now. Matter of fact, I can say that with the 9 Lives World Tour, with the coming to a close, the grand finale. I'm actually staying in the hotel where the grand finale is going to be at. I've never done that before, so I'm here. Like, normally I'll go see the room a week before, and then I don't go back to it to the day of, and I can feel the power in that room that's about to take place in the future where I'm not even at yet. So I'm staying in the building. I'm like, how am I going to sleep here? But I feel that those butterflies and the oh my God, this is way bigger than me. And I had my moment last night and I cried it out with the Lord, like, oh Lord, it's still like I'm at the end of the race right now, and I'm still talking about this is too big for me. I don't think I can handle this. And this one's different because I got family coming this time. My sisters is coming. What if they don't like it? What if they think I said too much? What if all the things, those things are going to happen, I'm telling you. But the fact of the matter is, am I going to do the show Saturday? Yes, I am. If people show up that I don't like, if people show up who are a threat to me, if people, like, I already got security in place, I done planned for this stuff. Like, if people, like, I'm still going to show up on that stage. At this point, it's like, if it cost me my life, I will still show up and do what my life was created for, because that's the reason that I'm here in the first place. So why live if you're not living for the reason that you're here? And that's where the power comes from, just continuing to walk in it. Like, I've had instances where I've experienced miracles that gave me more power, like in Washington, D.C. My team know what I'm talking about. They was there. I knew that God had them there to witness this supernatural experience. I literally went to a place that I don't even want to call it heaven. It was a different realm. I feel like our words here on this earth do not describe at all the spiritual stuff that we just try to come up with some words to describe. But I do the
Right.
best I can to explain it. But when I tell you, you just had to experience, and some people know what I'm talking about because they have too. I went to this place and I came back with more power than I've ever had. And the thing is, while it was happening, this experience that I can't really explain, it was like God kept pulling me in and out of it. And so I was going to this place where I was so bold and fearless. I felt like an angel. I felt like Michael. I felt like powerful, like I had a sword of fire and I was just fighting all these demons when I was there. But then I kept dropping back down and I kept feeling like weak and small and like limited in the time that I have on this earth. And there's only so much that I can do. But when I'm there, I see the bigger picture and it's all so clear and there's no time at all. Time doesn't even matter. Like it's all happening all at once. It's already happened and it already is going to happen and it's already now. Like there's just now. And it was like, can I just stay there? You know, I just wanted to stay there because it was.
Don't send me back.
You know, like, can I just come back over there? Because that was the first time that I've ever felt no fear. That was the only place that you can be where there is no fear, there is no pain, there is no suffering. That it was there, and what that felt like, I can't even describe because now I'm here on this earth, and as fearless as I may seem, as I'm walking forward in this, I'm back where the fear lives in my flesh because there I was just spirit. So it's like, but because I experienced there for a moment, now I'm able to remember what there was like because we've all been there. We all came from there, right? And so I'm able to tap into that power when I need to. And when I'm feeling weak on this earth to just sit down and just remember. And like, if you've never been there before, if you've never had those type of experiences or out of body experience or anything that happens on this earth that we experience, you can look back on your life and all God has brought you through and reflect on that and see the power of God in that. Like one way or another, it's about being able to look back on the power of God and recognizing that, man, if that power is what sent me, then who can be against me? Nobody, boo. So you walk boldly in that. And the more you do that, the more, when the attacks come, you just see God just backslapping, just backslapping the attacks and out the way. And then you just like, okay, yeah. And then you start to feel a little gangster, but then you got to be careful though, because you got to stay humble now. You got to remember where it's coming from. You can't see that's the mistake a lot of people make too. Listen, that's the mistake a lot of people make too, that's walking in power, is they get on up there. And then they be like, oh, now I'm doing this. This is look what I'm doing. I can't take credit for none of this because, and I think that's why God allows us powerful people like yourself to have these moments of imposter syndrome, because it keeps us humble. It keeps us understanding that, oh, it's not with my own power, and that is nothing but God. So that's who I'm going to give the credit to. That's who gets all the glory. That's who is not. How can I cannot make the stuff up that I'm doing on this 9 Lives World Tour. Like, I go to places not even knowing where I'm going to stay, and God will literally give us a place to stay and we not have to pay for it. Only God can do that. I couldn't have did that. I could have planned it out. It's just trusting God and building on that trust and allowing him to stretch your faith, which is extremely uncomfortable. Allowing him to stretch your faith, and that's how you grow. And embracing that process and just being like, okay, I'm okay with it. All we got to do is say yes. We don't have to show up fearless. We don't have to show up ready. We don't have to show up none of the things that we think we got to have going on before we start walking in our purpose. We just got to say, okay, yes, I'll do it. And then God takes care of the rest. That's what it is.
Place to say yes and walk in faith, y'all, because sometimes that's the hard, and that's honestly the hardest part, is walking in the faith, to understand that, okay, like today, I was sitting here flipping out. Oh my God, you guys, I haven't talked to Miss Vitelle in months, and now this want to act up, but I didn't give up.
Right. I knew it. I was like, Lord, help her behind the scenes, and I know that feeling.
But I mean, it's those times when people be like, you know what, let's just reschedule. No, we're not going to reschedule. We're just going to run a little late. We're going to show up. And that's that fear. That's that attack. And that's everything that you were talking about, and standing in that, and even in this, like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this is too much. Maybe Vitelle too big for me right now. Those are things that's going in your head, but you still show up and you remember talk to Miss Vitelle and you see that same sis that you met last year, she's still the same woman. She still love you, woman. Quit panicking. Quit being afraid. Quit being afraid. So, I mean, I love you.
I love you too, sis.
I
You're
just want to
amazing.
thank you so much. Is there something that you could tell this audience that you haven't already? Because I mean, you done dropped so many jewels. I don't know what advice you can give to anybody at this point. But
Man,
if you got some more jewels, I would love to hear them now. Anyone listening, any more?
man, I don't know. I feel so overwhelmed. Like this will happen when you let God use you. Now I feel like I need a nap. I'm like, oh Jesus, the flesh can only take so much. But oh man, I don't know. I feel like we covered so much. I'm trying to listen and just make sure I got everything because this was gonna happen is when I get off here is God gonna say something like, oh dang, I should have said that. But you know what? I just trust that God's will be done. Like even in that example just there, like because I know that's how it usually happens. Like I have to be okay with if I feel like I did miss something or I feel like I did lack because us perfectionists, we feel like we got to have everything perfect before we
Yes,
release
ma'am.
or before we close the door on it or whatever. And at the end of the day, we have to be able to let go of even that because it may not be perfect to our standards, but if we're showing up and trusting God's will and saying your will be done, not my own, then we trust that how it happened, however that might have looked to us, is how it was supposed to be for that next person. And I'll give you guys a perfect example with this particular show. It has happened every single time that something happens that I did not plan. And me as a director, I don't like when something happens that I did not plan, but that's a part of God stretching my faith and growing me through this because every time something's happened that I didn't plan, like the show gets held up like this one did today, I have no doubt in my mind now that somebody was supposed to be on this show that wasn't on their lunch break yet, or somebody was supposed to be on this show that was still at work or hadn't jumped on yet. Whatever it is, I may not understand it completely. And I may feel like, oh, well, that show wasn't the greatest because it started late or whatever. Like, no, trust God. If you don't trust yourself, trust God because I promise you, every single time our show has started late, and I be back there frantic with the technical, like what's happening? How can I fix it? I be back there trying to fix it, and that's okay because faith without works is dead. I have faith that God's going to fix it, and I'm also putting in the work to push the buttons to make it happen and let Him use me to fix it. Right? So it's a process here, but I don't panic or worry as much anymore, and that gets easier over time because I keep seeing how God is doing it. And I say immediately, God's doing something here. The enemy might be trying to slow it down, but God's got a plan for even what the enemy meant for our harm. He's turning it around for our good. So every time I've done this show and it's been late, there has been somebody in the audience just coming in right as the show started, and then they'll come up at the end, say their testimony like, girl, I was stuck in this and this was happening. And one lady, she was actually on a walker and was having trouble getting there, and then another time it stormed real bad and there's people, car broke down. All the testimonies that I've just racked up at this point of why that happened. Now, why would I get mad the next time that happens? Because now I'm excited. Now I'm like, ooh, somebody's coming to get their blessing. And whatever it is, it's getting held up for them because it's all going to work together for our good. Whether it was the enemy doing it in the first place or not, it's all going to work together for our good. So at the end of the day, like I trust that process. I know how that works. It's for somebody. That's what our lives is for. We're supposed to be dying to our flesh daily and just living in the spirit and making sure that we get enough of these people who out here in the flesh to come with us when it's time to go back there. So
See,
that's
I knew something was gonna come. I knew we didn't take it all, y'all, because I see it.
I thought I was done.
Because it's always something. Thank you so much, sis, for coming on the show. And before I close out, I want to make sure that if any one of you guys need real access to some kind of support, you guys, I give that to you. Like I always push the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-888-799-SAFE, 1-888-799-SAFE, or the National Human Trafficking Hotline, 888-373-7888. So thank you so much, sis, for coming.
I add to that by saying a suicide prevention line. You just dial 988. There you
988. Yes. See, thank you, sis. Dial 988.
I didn't want to let you off this call. I ain't gonna lie. I have not been watching the time. I don't even want to let you go. But that just brought me to another message. It's like, it's so hard for us to let go sometimes. And we have to realize that when it's time to move, you know, we have to be able to let God just bring us to even more people, even bigger places, at some point it's going to come a time that you're going to have to let go of this particular platform that you're on right now after you done built it to the place that you want it to be, because God got to elevate you to the next one. God got to get you a whole TV show. You got to have a whole studio, but it won't happen until you let go of what your comfort zone is and where you're at right now. And that's the hardest part, girl. Trust me, I understand. God gave us a real life example when my car got totaled out. With me, when my car got totaled, I was devastated. I was trying to keep smiling. I was trying to keep positive about it because I knew that there was a car that I wanted. And I said, somehow in all of this chaos and me learning to let go of that car, when they told me they had to total it out, I was like, oh no. Learning to let go of that so that God could get something bigger for me and something better. And now I'm in my dream car because of that. So that can apply to every situation in your life when it's time to move, like being able to just, that is so hard because we get attached, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing. We get attached to places where we live. We get attached to people. We get attached to stuff. That's what we do. We have to be willing to say, okay, God, I trust that you got even bigger and better. I trust that out of these people that I've blessed, you got even more people for me to bless now. And so we got to close it out at some point and let it go and just go.
You ain't wrong. You're not wrong. And I know that was for me because I've been feeling that, like, why are you doing this? You supposed to be doing that, but I am afraid. It's the imposter syndrome, that imposter syndrome. Like, I even have people. I was telling a friend of mine when Nisa, I've always said, I love you, Nisa. I love you so much. Your name right. When she to me and I let a friend know, I'm like, oh my God. And I start talking about you and how I met you and everything. It's like, why haven't you reached out to her to see? And I'm like, I'm not going to ask that woman anything. She is a beast. I am a mouse. They were like, lady, she'll probably fuss you out if she heard you saying what you said.
Yes, I'm about to now. Listen, I don't care when my name is bigger than freaking Tyler Perry, Beyonce, all of them. I don't care. You better call me. You're going to have my direct line. Okay. Nisa will be following up with you because she's going to be my executive assistant still. Okay. Like, it's just going to be on a whole nother level. That paycheck going to grow, but ain't nothing changing right here. It's always there forever.
I know, and I'm gonna get through that, but I might need you to come and pop me because I got people popping me. Excuse that sound, sorry. You got to come stop popping me because I do know that, like you said, this is not for me. This is not my journey. This is the journey. So when people like Lady V come and tell me you not doing what you're supposed to be doing, because I know I'm not. That's just the confirmation that I'm already hiding from, and I want to thank you for being big sis. And putting on them big pants and telling me to stop being and living in my fear and living in my comfort zone, because not only do I need to hear that, but the people that's viewing in right now need to hear that. And the people that's on your lives, they need to hear that, because we are living in our comfort zone. And until we step out that comfort zone, we're never going to really live in our purpose. Because you said something earlier. You was like, I will die today because I'm dying doing what I'm supposed to do. If I got to die living in my purpose, that's it.
That happened. Yes, absolutely. Somebody better say that at my funeral too. Let them know if they don't know. She walked in purpose to the very end. Okay.
I'm like, let me bring this up. That's my show right here. You see that right there? She died in her purpose.
Period. To the very end. Period.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, y'all see, this woman is beautiful. This energy I missed. Oh my God, I missed this energy. I'm about to cry again. I didn't realize how much I was gonna miss you. I'm like, I knew I missed you. I was seeing you. I'll be looking at you live, watching your reels. I'm like, man, I miss this woman. And then I'll be seeing Nisa with her business going, her business popping. I'm like, look at my sister's girl, and I missed that energy. Y'all, this feel like home to me. Like I said, I didn't ask. I think I asked you 2 questions. This just became a conversation.
No, did we have some questions? God just did that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We go where we are told to go. We move where we're supposed to move, and I allow it to be what it's going to be. And that's something that you teach and that you promote and you preach, and you doing that in your works. And I'm so proud to have met you, to be a part of your life. I'm proud to have you a part of my life, and I cannot wait to see where Us Three Productions go. You talking about me being on TV? Your productions company want to gonna be the air of my shows? What I'm gonna be like?
Hey, listen, I am all about reaching back. Like, y'all just wait till I get these millions and billions. I'm trying to tell y'all, some of y'all on my list to get a blessing. I'm just saying, and you one of them.
Oh, thank you so much. I miss you. When we are done with this, I have to do better with keeping in contact. I know you're busy, but I'm never busy.
Contact ain't gonna hurt nobody.
I will definitely reach out. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Thank you so much for working with me. I miss you. I love you. I am a huge fan, even more than all these big old people, because you are the truth. You are real. You are authentic. And this is who she is, y'all. This is who she is. This is not an act. I can vouch for that. This is not an act. This is Miss Vitelle and all of her greatness. I mean, sometimes her hair wasn't combed. She had that bun up. I remember that bun. Where that bun? You got cute
makeup today. I'm like, here we are.
But this is still who she is, no matter what. And I appreciate you for reaching out to me, and for remembering me, for believing in me, and for reminding me of who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing, because I think that you reached out to me to remind me of what a girl, you get up on it now. So
yes, we got to hold each other accountable.
That's all right. You continue to hold me accountable, because I need that. I need that sometimes, because I do lose faith. You know what? I can say that I will. I've seen the other side, so I can agree. We got to tell you to sit down, though. Sit down, sister, and get that relaxed.
Exactly. Like, nice to be having to tell me to eat and all the stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotta hold each other accountable.
So I would definitely, you guys, we're gonna be seeing a lot more from this beautiful woman, a lot more from her, and it's always gonna be uplift, never for selfish reasons, always to push out and pay it forward. So you guys keep your eye out for this woman. She's already been out there, so keep watching, because it's good. There's more to come with her own. She's not going to be having to answer to anybody. She's going to be the one. 9 lives, y'all, and y'all gonna see it. Y'all see it, and I'm gonna put it on everything. I'm gonna push it out today, because I want y'all to go. I wanted to go to one, but I'm stuck in Costa Rica. We got to do something here. We want to do something here.
We've already been talking about it. Costa Rica, Africa. I think we did an interview in Russia. Yeah, this is why we put world tour on the thing, even though the cities for this particular 2025 are in the US. It's because the world that we're doing virtually, that's where it's coming to next. So yeah.
Yes, it is. And I have people in Canada and in the UK. So don't worry about that. We gonna make it. We gonna make it grow. And in Australia, honestly, Australia, we got this, sis.
Oh, I'm gonna love doing interviews with them, because I like their accents.
Oh, I had so much fun today with Miss Vitelle. So what you guys heard today, it just wasn't a conversation. This was a reckoning. It was a reminder that survival isn't the end of our story. It's the beginning of something sacred. And if Miss Vitelle's words shook something loose in you, if you found yourself remembering your own pain, your own silence, and your own resilience, then don't just sit on that. Share it, speak it, let it move through you into this world. And this is how we reclaim our power, by refusing to suffer quietly, by letting our scars show, by honoring artists and advocates like this beautiful woman here, the survivors who dared to turn pain into purpose and purpose into action. So if this message spoke to you, if you really like what you heard today, please don't keep it to yourself. Comment, let us know how it landed. Share it with someone who needs to know that they're not broken, that they're becoming. Subscribe so you don't miss out on these truths and miss out on messages from people who are not afraid to say it out loud. And if you have time to buy that ticket and go watch Miss Vitelle and her show, because I know she's going to not only blow your mind with what she could do artist wise, but what her message is. Her message is what the real part of that journey is. That's what this story is for the message. Because this is how we shift culture, one truth at a time. When we dare to be powerful, to use strength and service of vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. That is from Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde. That is a quote from her. So those are the little things that I look at to help me. And I am PJ Jones. This is Insights of a Survivor. And if no one's told you today, I see you. You're not alone, and your voice is enough. And until next time, keep loving, keep listening, and keep rising. I will see you guys this Friday.
Amen.
So, amen.